mynews.studio.
Today is 2025-12-11. Imagine a future where wheat fields can fertilize themselves. Could a single root mutation really change the course of global agriculture?
Let's step back for a second. Why is fertilizer such a big deal in the first place?
Good starting point. Modern farming relies heavily on synthetic nitrogen fertilizers. Making them through the Haber-Bosch process takes about 2% of the world's energy supply. That's a significant chunk. Plus, there's the issue of carbon emissions and pollution entering rivers and lakes.
And fertilizer prices are unstable, right? That volatility puts a lot of pressure on farmers, especially in parts of the world where margins are already thin.
Exactly. That's where the new breakthrough from the Danish team at Aarhus University comes in. They're looking at how plant roots connect with bacteria. Normally, legumes, like beans, can form partnerships with nitrogen-fixing bacteria, but cereals, like wheat and rice, can't.
So what's the Danish team's discovery?
Professors Kasper Roykjær Andersen and Simona Radotoiu found a sort of molecular switch in the root receptors. With a change in just 2 amino acids, they enabled barley, a cereal, to start interacting with nitrogen-fixing bacteria. This kind of partnership was only seen in legumes before.
Wait, just 2 amino acids? That's really all it took?
It caught a lot of people off guard, yes. But it's true, just 2 amino acids in a particular receptor protein. They showed this in both legumes and barley, so it's a solid proof of concept.
Does this mean we might see self-fertilizing wheat next season?
Not that soon. This is only a first step. For cereals to truly self-fertilize, more genetic tweaks are needed. The plant has to support the bacteria throughout the process, not just let them in at the start.
So realistically, are we talking years or decades before we see this in the field?
Field trials on a larger scale could happen in 5 to 10 years. For widespread use, it might take 10 to 20 years. It's going to depend on regulations and public acceptance of gene-edited crops.
Let's talk impact. What does this mean for smallholder farmers, particularly in regions where fertilizer is hard to come by?
That's an important angle. Many small-scale farmers can't afford enough fertilizer, which keeps their yields low. Programs like ENSA are aimed at making self-fertilizing cereals available to these farmers so they can grow more with fewer resources.
So, this could lower farm costs and maybe help make yields more predictable.
That's right. It could also reduce greenhouse gases from fertilizer production and use. And if farmers aren't at the mercy of price swings, the whole food system becomes more resilient.
But there's always a trade-off. What about seed access? Could this create new dependencies on a handful of companies?
That's a real risk. If only a few companies control these seeds, farmers might trade one dependency for another. Making sure seeds are accessible and adapted to local conditions will be critical. Regulation will matter here.
Taking a step back, what are the broader implications for plant science?
It's a leap forward in understanding how plants and microbes interact. Roots are this hidden interface that shapes a plant's health and nutrient uptake. If we can engineer these relationships, the potential goes far beyond just nitrogen.
Are scientists working on other root traits too?
Yes, researchers are studying root chemistry, the way roots grow, and even how they attract helpful microbes. It's a complex puzzle involving genetics, microbiology, ecology, and economics all at once.
And if this all works out, what changes?
We'd see crops that use less fertilizer, pollute less, yield more, and cost less to grow. That could reshape both farming economics and environmental outcomes.
So in summary, 2 amino acids open the door to self-fertilizing cereals. It's only the beginning, but the long-term impact could be significant, especially for small farmers and global food security.
Exactly. It's not a magic fix, but it's an important move towards more sustainable and fair agriculture.
Thanks for joining us as we explored the science and stakes of self-fertilizing crops.
Thank you for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. You can try it now for free.